Would request you guys, you have to talk. Please go to the everyday wise like this, and then you can start on the talk. Let's go with the 6, 7. Yeah, let's go here. Something. Then you can please bring the keywords. Whatever you know that. Please talk. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can.
Please go ahead. What did you learn last?
Elastic catch.
Yeah, one is elastic tension. Mhm. Is you have to talk. Requesting you guys, you have to talk.
Yes.
Yeah. What do you?
SQS.
Yeah. SQS.
PC pairing.
VPC. Yeah. Under VPC, we learned some.
VPC pairing.
On-prem to VPC.
That is called, what is that is called? On-prem to VPC concept.
Yes.
Yeah, what is that concept? You have a name, right, for that?
Forward proxy.
No, not that thing.
VPN.
Side to side.
Side to side.
Yeah. Alternative for this is the direct connect. Majority we will not come into this picture. It will be. Yeah, very important. There is a concept of reverse proxy for ingress, forward proxy for egress. Alternative for this,
VPC endpoint.
GW, yeah, sure. And in EC2, you can install Apache also. And you can see that one more LB, all this called. In the cloud, there is a for what is this? Yeah. In the cloud, we have one component, right? Equal to this. That is. Yeah, one more was the VPC. And this is to route the traffic within the private network, not to the public. Yeah. We did a one end-to-end lab, right? Like one kind of lab. What is that called? The WordPress. Yeah, that is PHP.
Web.config file setup and all.
Yeah. This is what. Yeah, one more. Yeah, very important. Tomcat. And we have exposed it to outside world via the load balancer with the host based rules. We follow the host based and load balancer rule we were using it, and then we exposed it. Can anyone tell me like what are the steps for VPC? To do VPC, what and all basic things? But NACL will be there. I mean, normal. So we expect in the interview. What are the steps to do VPC?
Create VPC. Subnets.
Subnets. Next.
NAT gateway.
Yeah. NAT gateway in which subnet?
Public sub.
Public.
Next is the
Route tables.
yeah, public route with ICW and public subnets. Private route. No, this guy na route with, you have to tell one thing here. Route with
NAT gateway.
NAT gateway, and then we will have a private subnets. Yeah, this is the one. Yeah, this is the VPC pairing. If you do VPC pairing or site to site or anything, at the end this is the very crucial. Which guy? Private route. Even if you do endpoints also. Whenever packet is going, you did one thing, right? You remember this guy. What is this guy? The reach analyzer tool. Reachability analyzer tool. Yeah. Can you guys help me here with the reachability analyzer tool? Just try to yesterday you did like I like the way that. Can you guys try this reachability analyzer for this thing? The Apache in private subnet. How it will go? I wanted to go as an end user. How it will go? Please tell me with that. As an end user, I want to reach to the Apache, which is in private subnet. Yeah, end user 2, it will go to the IGW. Awesome. Yeah. IGW, then from
Then NACL.
yeah, very important. What is that? Route table. Yeah, this is. No, in the route table, it will route now to IGW to public subnet. Within it will go to the local, like local route. There will be two routes will be the right IG route, then it will be the public subnet. Here you will have a HG second. It will touch second group, but which guy? In then it will reach to the EC2. Then again security group. No. Before security group, there is one guy. Now what is this guy? NSAL inbound. Then it will reach to the security group inbound. This is EC2. Then it will reach to the security group outbound. It will touch. Then again, which guy? Here
NACL outbound.
NSAL outbound.
No route table.
Again, it will be the route table. It will not go via IG NAT gateway, I think. So NAT gateway only will come whenever you are trying to download from packet. It will go again to the local route only again. You think it will go to the route table again. It will go to the here also. This is the private NACL, right? Here. With this one here, it will go to the IGW, then IGW to route table. Here you have one guy now. What is this guy? Load balancer. So load balancer again it will touch. Same here. Security group. Outbound. Again, security group means which will be there here? Public NACL. Here, where is this guy? Security group. Here, NACL. Again, outbound. Yeah, here again, somewhere route table will come, I think. Yeah, route table. Let it like this. Yeah, somewhere route table will come whenever the packet is going outside. Just you think this is the good to go with the mind mapping. This is like I'm not expecting as this. If you have this kind of mind mapping, right, it will be very easy to whenever troubleshooting it. How the request is going from here to here, there, and all something. Can it back to the end user. Again, here NAT gateway and all will come. NACL outbound and all. Again, what is that outbound? NACL, IGW here. NACL. Outbound only. This thing. Okay, my objective was like you should follow the request from how it is going here and there and that's it. Okay, cool. So thank you for this. Let's go here something. Yeah, you reachable analyzer tool you have done. One more was there was a VPC concept VPC CloudWatch. You know theoretically for now CloudWatch. One is the CloudWatch will be used for two purposes mainly. One is for monitoring. One more is for logging. Yeah, some more keywords. What did you know? Know your application. We went to like know your app properties. Why do we use this properties concept?
The dependencies.
To connect to dependencies. This is called, you remember I was selling config properties, or one more I was selling it config map, and I was selling one more config map versus or config versus one more I was selling it secret. In the config map or config, the content will be plain. In the secret, the content will be encrypted. For the secret, we use a secret manager or vault in the real time. Can I define here? That's okay, their choice. Can I define, like in our case, right? I have defined plainly here. But if you come little, we'll go further little as well later. If you go little depth, right? This is the one of the interview question they'll ask you. Where do you define the sensitive parameters like username, password? Where do you define? Here I will define in the config map username, the endpoint, DB name, port number, some SQS name, reason name, these things, username, passwords and all, I'll ship it to here. Then application will be designed in such a way that it knows where to pull the things. That is not our job. I'll tell to the developer, here are the secrets, here is the config map, please pull yourself. The developer will write the code according to that, whatever the design they want. Cool. So for me, this is very important. You should know that based upon the language, there will be property files will be differs, but this is very important. You have to, because we touch this is our regular job, but this is like little black hole for us. So if you know the little coding and all, you will know it. Otherwise, you will feel difficulty somewhere. It will be masked for you. So please help me here some more. Okay, now let me ask you this question. I'll come to that topic just like kind of feedback. How do I know that I need to create SQS or RDS or Elastic Cache? How I know as a DevOps guy? Yeah. How do we know it? Like you are creating all this for whose purpose? To run the
business.
Yeah, obviously business will be to run the business will go via the application to run the application. But do I need to create cache, memcache, SQS or MSK topics or the S3 or something RDS, Oracle or something? How I knows it? Which database, which Elastic Cache or S3 or SQS? How we knows it? Yes, this is what there is a whose requirement it will be developer requirement exactly. So you need to sync up with the developer. Developer will tell us that which resources he needed. So if developer, let's say for example, developer, I'll tell you like some kind of scenarios, we also will suggest them. I told you, right? Every time whenever one application is calling with another application, they are calling that app1 to app2. They're calling directly one API to another API. So these two are our applications only, our company applications only, you think it, he is calling it. This application is going very frequently down and then they are complaining with you. Hey, this application is having issues. Whenever it is going down, can you check it? What do you recommend to them? What is the one I told you, right? You can recommend this, go with this implementation. Guys, can you hear me?
Yes,
Yeah.
SQS.
Yeah, I told it some messaging system. There are number of tools out there in the market, but one of the examples was SQS or one more I was telling it, MSK topic one. This you can recommend them. With this case, right? Even if it goes down, it will put the data. You can recommend. This is what you have to tell it. Otherwise, your job is to make sure this available to always. This app1 to app2 calling method is not the longer and sustainable solution. It won't work. You have to have some kind of middleman like this guy. You will put here, the other guy will get consumed. You can recommend. That is the one I was telling it. This is one of our job to recommend the system. These are the good to go. Our job is to maintain high availability, reliability thing, right? So as in like SRE or the DevOps guy, as a like kind of the architect guy, you have to recommend the system longer run. Now one more I was telling it. If as app is connected with RDS, and then all the calls are going here. Select calls, more frequent data. Which component you can recommend for this to avoid that?
Elastic Cache.
Yeah, catch it. So first it will check the data is there or not, whatever the data application needed. If it is not available, then it will go and then the code will decide it. Check it here. Then if it is not available, The code will have that logic, goes to the RDS component, fetch the data, store again in the cache. Next time onwards, again call comes, check in the cache, get it back again. So that you will be reducing the calls. This is one of our job, recommending the systems. Cache is the recommended. You can recommend it always. Otherwise, your application will be slow. With the cache, right? The nature of the cache is in memory. It will be very speed. In memory is in the sense RAM is very speed, right? Compared to the hard disk. So that is these solutions they can recommend. And obviously, you know the best solutions go with the VPC. Those are all okay. But on the application layer also, you should have little knowledge. Little. So my objective was you should know very well this concept, this one, and what components we need to create. That will be the developer requirement that should have in your mind. And that dependencies we will be defining in the properties file. These are also you should be aware. Okay, this remaining all are our cloud concept, VPC pairing, this and all. As a little DevOps guy, little code, and you should have this knowledge. Okay, so we went purely on the networking layer, and then we did a setup with the WordPress related application. Can you guys help me here? Just observe here. I brought one architecture, AWS recommended architecture. Can you guys just observe this? This is how you will get in the real time also, your project architecture. Some interviews, they'll ask you to write this kind of architecture also. They'll ask you to draw this architecture. Just scan the some kind of keywords. This is alternative to the EBS. EBS is regional only. If you have EBS volume here, you cannot access same EBS volume here by default nature. If you want, you have to implement some NFS and all. That is out of scope. This is alternative for EBS. Just scan it here. So my objective was implement this existing. We have already this existing component. There are few of them are pending in this. We will complete them. Then we will go towards complete automation. So we'll complete this flow, these three. That is what my objective. Next to 1 week, I can say that. I mean, within we can do that. But you already know this flow, Route 53, like we discussed initial time, post zone, record sets, how the DNS will happen. We already covered this. I'll repeat again that flow, but we'll complete this flow. And then we will implement this in the real time as well. Like something. So any queries on this diagram? Any questions you want to ask on it? We implemented this also. Instead of Memcache, we went with Redis. In the real-time, majority Redis will be used. For now, I have primary. I'll create that replica also for this. This also I'll create. Bit Linux knowledge required for this thing to go a little. Any queries on this diagram you want to ask on it? Okay. So my objective is clear here right now. My objective was implement this diagram end to end within our own VPC. Then same topics we will do in the automation wise when I go with the instead of manual clicks in the console, right? So this is my objective. I'll bring this total setup. With that, right? Let's go here. So here the request is coming from. Can you guys hear? What is this guy? You know, right? What is alternative for Route 53? What is the alternative? No. DNS. Yeah. So DNS. So the request is going to the DNS. Then internally it is forwarding to the CloudFront. Then CloudFront is one kind of service in AWS. So then it is again internally forwarding to here and here. So you know some basics we were checking previously. I mean we went through also. Why do we use S3? We were talking a lot. I was talking a lot.
To access internal storage.
To store static data.
Storage purpose.
Yeah, exactly. One that is good keyword. Storage purpose.
Speed
Which-
also.
Yeah, which content? It's not speed. S3 is not speed. Which content?
Video
Structure.
Documents or videos.
Like
Video based or image based.
any data. It's let's say you remember
Hmm.
you was telling na backup of something na. In RDS we can take some backup, right? Backup of RDS. So if you take a backup of RDS, where it will store as a kind of, if you remember, it will store as a what? Snapshot. Snapshot it will go. No, I want to take specific one database backup only. If you remember, one tool I was telling MySQL dump. So where you will run this command? You will run this command in the Bastion. Then you will have a one file called blah 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 something. You will have a one file called backup.sql. This I will compress. I will upload into the where again back into upload to S3. Like database backups or like anything. It's not only for static content, something, anything, database content, like application content, majority, all the content we upload into the S3. S3 majority purpose we use for storage. What kind of data? Application data, database backups, or like simply for temporary purpose for some days I want to keep it, you can store it. So that's the main objective for S3 is to storage. When I say storage as a service, AWS is providing storage service, not software as a service. Okay. They have, right, one thing, EBS. One more is what? S3. They have one more
RDS.
cache. They have one more RDS. They have one more here, EFS. They have a lot of one more. Let me see FSX. Let me click on the keyword. Let me go here. Storage. What will key? Storage gateway, S3, FSX, EFS, object storage, buckets. That's okay. There are like others also there. OpenSearch, many are there for storage. Cache is temporary, RDS is permanent, EFS is alternative for EBS. Let me put it like this here. This is alternative for EBS is zone. Within the zone only. You cannot access CRUD zone. This is zone. This is what I was telling it, if you remember, regional level. Okay. This is the. So this is also permanent. You will be attached to the EC2 mission. This is also permanent. This is temporary. They have like lot of categories. Many are there. Okay. Whatever we discussed. Okay. Now, yeah. So in this case, my objective was this guy, S3. These are all right. EBS directly, it's a normal hardware like your hard disk. You are attaching to what? To EC2 directly. It will be a bit faster. Cache also behind, like they're using some kind of very, very fast speed software. Behind it is using RAM, and then it will be attaching to applications with the endpoint something. RDS also behind it is having some kind of storage. Directly it will access the disk layer. I mean to say, like for example, what I mean, OS will be there here. Hard disk will be there directly. This will be very speed. If OS is interacting with hard disk, this will be very speed. Okay. Now for S3, what they did, AWS people, there will be a hard disk will be there. Sorry, hard disk will be there. This is the, say that EBS. This is fast. For S3, what they did is, they'll ask you some interview questions. Okay. They install some softwares here. They install some softwares. This software will interact with hard disk. With this, which one will be very speed? Here is the translator. You think it someday. You know, right? By seeing itself, you can say that. Which one will be very speed to interact with to get the data?
EBS.
EBS is. For S3, right? They're using some kind of software, and then right, behind they'll be using some kind of techniques, like something called replication, some kind of partitioning. So whatever the data you uploaded to S3, right? For example, S3 behind like this will be there. Some OS will be there. Some here directly you have application here. Okay. So whatever the data you uploaded to S3, it will go to again OS. That OS will divide your video It will store here distributed storage here. You can see that distributed. So when you are getting the data also, it has to get, I'm sorry. Whenever it is getting the data also, right, it has to go across, it has to do some lot of computation and then get the data and then it has to give you back. Here it doesn't matter. Whenever your application, this OS will decide from which block to which block the data has to write. It will be very speed. I mean to say it will be sequential read in the hard disk. If you go here S3, right, it is not sequential. Somewhere distributed storage will be there, one place here and there. This logic will calculate that this is the AWS solution out of scope for us. They will get the data from multiple hard disk, your data, whatever you have, they stored initial time. Then they'll give back again. So one of the interview questions they'll ask you, if you go more, core companies have seen it, right? Speed. Yesterday is slow. The data here is sequential. Here that is not the sequential. It will store multiple places like this logic with the replication partitioning. This software will do some computing and then we'll get the data from here with that. Any questions, any thoughts you want to ask? Okay. Now, so when I say S3, it's that's why we call it as a kind of we cannot store, we cannot install any application that we, you know, right? I told what kind of storage it is.
Object storage.
Yeah, very important. Object storage in the sense it will have some kind of a file, and then like some internally behind it will maintain some numbers, like other properties it will maintain some metadata, multiple properties it will maintain. You upload a video, you upload a document, you upload everything. Can we install any application on top of S3? No, because it's not a sequential like hard disk, right? It's somewhere again applications will be there and all. We cannot install applications on top of S3. You cannot do that. You cannot do that. So can I attach S3 to EC2 mission? Yes. Yes. We can mount. The keyword is called we can mount. What is the storage will be there for EC2 by default? Block, which is called EBS, right? By default. So
EBS.
can I attach S3 also? Yes, you can attach. You can have both of them. What is that? You can have EC2 both. One is EBS also you can attach. Plus what is that one more? S3. This is called block. This is called object. You can attach. Okay. Now, yeah, this guy. So S3 is it's a scalable solution. You can have like lot of, I remember how much, I don't know, like more than like you can store the petabytes of that data, but at a time in one folder, one bucket, there is a limitation, I think some 5 terabytes something, but you can have more S3, more when I say S3 related keyword, let me put it like this. For me, first object was what kind of storage type. In S3, we will create some kind of folders, but we don't call it the folders. In the real time, I mean, the keyword is called bucket. Inside this bucket, you can have multiple folders. This bucket name should be unique. Unique across global. Global in the sense, let's say in my AWS account, I created a bucket name called test bucket, in the sense folder. Folder, another name you can call as a bucket. Okay. In my AWS account, I created a name called test. But if you try it in your AWS account, it won't work. Saying that already this name has been taken. You cannot use this name. That's what you will get error. This bucket name should be unique. That is the one thing. S3 is a regional. S3 is regional. But you can access globally. Like I was telling here, EBS volume is zone specific. You cannot access EBS volume. EC2 is zone, region, or the global EC2?
Region.
Inside a region again, which service? It is region again.
Region.
The regional, but again, when you're creating a EC2, it's again where are you creating? Inside VPC, inside you're creating inside a zone, right? Again behind. It's a
Yeah,
subnet
yeah.
internally. Yeah. That reason is correct. But my question was
Agent.
it's a agent, exactly. Same way, S3 is a regional, but you can access across, let's say, for example, I created S3 bucket in Mumbai, can access the data, another account, another region, yes, you can access. Mumbai to Singapore, you can access. Mumbai to like North Virginia, Europe, you can access anywhere. Across accounts also you can access. That can be done. So that is very important. S3 is a global, but when you're creating S3 bucket, it will be region. So folder is called bucket, very important. And then object storage, this is very important, some keywords. Okay. Can I have inside one bucket multiple folders? You can have it. That is very important. Cool. So with this, let me go to S3. Let's see some kind of keywords. S3. You see, right? Scalable solution. It's a scalable. You can delete, you can remove the content. It will expand. Elastic. Okay. Storage, I would say that. S3. Let it be. Just a minute. Someone is calling me back to back. Sorry, medical emergency. Start. Now, so I was telling about S3 was object storage. It can be attached to EC2. This is, you should know that. S3 can be independent also, but applications can also access internally this EC2. When I say S3, there is a folder, another name called bucket. Inside that you can have multiple folders, files, everything. But name should be unique across the, not in your AWS account, globally. That is one. And then it's a regional service, but global. It will expand, and then you can, let's say I uploaded the data, I can delete it back, and then the storage is behind scaling. Okay. But EBS expand resize will be bit complex. Here they will take care for you AWS. If you delete it, they'll take care like your Google Drive. But EBS, right, very difficult to expand, resize. This is bit difficult. Here it doesn't matter. You don't need to have that complexity like EBS. EBS is bit complex to expand, decrease. S3 is very easy. Just upload, delete, that's it. With that, let me go for S3 folder here. So you remember whatever the data you guys were getting from here itself. This is this is one. And then you see, right, this is the important. When you create a S3 bucket, it will be specific to a region. This is what I was telling it. But you can access from globally. Anywhere else you can access. Across the one region to another region, you can access it. This is called the folder. Instead of folder, we can call it as a name called, good keyword is called bucket. Let me create a bucket one. It's a single click. When you're creating a bucket, it will be like this, in which region you want to create it. So majority, when you're creating a bucket, right, always your client has to be near, you can think that Jakarta is coming. Oh, they have disabled some regions for us. Melbourne, Jakarta, Cape Town, oh, many are coming. These are the new regions also. You see Hyderabad has been disabled for me. This nearest. Some of them disabled. You cannot create it. But if you go interface account, I mean, if it is disabled, you can raise a support ticket in your AWS account, then they'll enable it for your account also. With my lab, right, let me go for Asia Pacific. I'll go for Mumbai. Demo, cloud learning, say that. Bucket will be like permissions. ACLs will be, these ACLs are called permissions. By default, bucket is private. Bucket. Let me put it bucket. Permissions. Another name called permissions are called ACL. You remember, I am follows which language? Permissions follows which language?
JSON.
JSON.
JSON,
Just keep
yes.
that, okay? ACLs, it will be there. There will be some bucket permissions will be there. Bucket level permissions also. Permissions will be there. It is separate from IAM policies. This is separate. This will be separate. Bucket will have individual permissions, not like IAM policy. Bucket can be have separate policies. Now let's give this name. And I was saying it, bucket is a region. You can create it. You can observe here top itself. Na? Here you see, right? It's a global thing. And bucket by default is private. Block everything. By default is private. It was some exam question, I remember. By default, bucket is the private. You can enable it if you want. And whatever the content you are uploading, right, it will take a backup. If you enable this option called versioning, that we will do with answer practically. Some kind of encryption will be there, whatever the content, server side encryption. This is called SSE. There is extra KMS encryption. For now, I'm not touching it. Let me go with this default. Some objects log, don't care about this settings. My objective was right now here is the give the name, observe this ACL related keywords, permissions related keywords. Now let's create a bucket. Our job is to create the buckets, one of job. Then how they will use, that's up to their questions. And it has a one limitation in one AWS account. Please listen it. In one AWS account, max AWS will allows you 1,000 buckets only. If you want more than it, they won't allow. That is the hard limit. Recently, we got that problem. We've been to reach to this thing. Cool. Let me open this bucket. Now you can upload the files. This is where I was uploading my videos, everything. This is what I was doing it. Add files, add folders. I was uploading it. So here is the objects. Objects are nothing but files. You will have a little properties. We will be touching some of them. For needed buckets only, I will be enabling the versioning. Otherwise, if you enable by default, right, everything will get backup. They'll charge for this extra also. For versioning also, they'll charge a little. There is some encryption. This is what I was telling it. If more people will access it, we can enable the logging as well. Yeah. Properties it will have a, and then permissions, that is what I was telling. By default, bucket is private. And who are all accessing how much data it has been uploaded here historically, like how my bucket, I want to see the trend, how much data came. Recently we were observing it. And then here is the some interview questions, you will get it. Here some, this is the one of the interview question, you will get it. This is the one, you will get it. Life cycle rule. This I saw multiple times. So basic things, these are the ones. Basic things. Basic things. Bucket will have a properties. I was telling it, obviously, properties. And then it will have a life cycle rules. Why they had given the life cycle rule is for cost to saving purpose. If let's say, for example, you remember what is the purpose we use S3? All right. First, storage. Let's say in your laptop you stored like 3 years data. I think we used to store regularly, right? Some. So like whatever the storage we do, right? Storage data here. Some data regularly. With this, right? S3 has given some storage types again. Some storage type. They had given. When you are uploading the data, right? They will have some storage types. By default, let me go inside the S3, the existing one S3. Let me go here. I'll go for one. By default, can you see here? This is the one, storage class or storage types. By default, what is this guy? Standard. There are many, are there? Many, depends upon use case, storage class S3. These are the ones are there, S3, standard. So majority times, right? We work, I mean, like the requirement which came for us is like, this is the one standard. And then sometimes for like kind of testing purpose, because we work with the cloud team. So some kind of testing they did, but regularly, this is the one, Glacier. I have worked with the Glacier regularly. Glacier in the sense, if you want to get a simple file also, it will take an hour, 1 hour, like 30 minutes, something. It will take like deep archive will take simple file also, it will take a lot of time. This is immediate fast. This will be very fast. So why they made it is, this is little costlier. If you move from here to here, here to here, here to here, something, this will be little cheaper. If you are not using data, move the data to here as a kind of Glacier. If you're not using it, if your application is regularly using, store this way, standard. What I mean is here, the lifecycle rules are get data from one type to other type. What is that other type is called? Storage class to another storage class. Default storage is, there are standard. Another is the IA, infrequent access. IA we call infrequent access. I mean, as for even for me also, this is infrequent access. There are many other, many introduced initial days like infrequent access, Glacier. This Glacier was there, Glacier debugger. So let me put it like this, Glacier. Please, they'll ask you this question. Standard, these things you can directly download from S3. Glacier, we can't download directly. If you use API, program nothing but, or CLI only, it will work. This standard one you can download directly. Just keep it. So my objective was here, in S3, there are some storage classes are there. Why they managing the storage classes? For cost thing. If you are not using your data, move that data to Glacier. One day, maybe like, maybe you may use it. Here, Glacier will be cheap compared to the standard. If you are using regularly, keep that data in the which type? Standard. So how to move from one storage type to another storage type? This is the guy. Which guy? Life cycle rule. Simple. That to IA2, for example, Glacier. So there will be some kind of rule. After 90 days, something like after certain days, like for example, like 180 days, this one. By default is the standard. When you upload any video or document, by default, it will be the standard. You will get an option, I think. By default, I remember standard. For now, I want to move to here. This is the one. Life cycle, you have to create it here. You have to create a rule like this. Next, where was this guy? Yeah. Management, here you have to create it. Here it will ask you like how long from one storage type to another storage type, something it will ask you after some days and all. For now, I'm not touching it. Just keep this thought. They'll ask you this interview question. Okay. Now I want to replicate. I was telling, right, I want to replicate from one region to another region. Let's say whatever the data came to S3, this is called replication. I'm uploading some data to S3. I want to back up. Then you have to create this replication rule. One S3 to another S3. One region to another region. Who is to make this replication rule? Okay. So this is kind of backup, you can think it. The data will be replicated across other buckets. That is for that purpose. Okay. Cool. Now, tell me here. So one thing you told, Please help me here. You know, you already told.
Storage.
For storage,
Storage.
especially for.
That is the one thing. Yes, storage. But in the real time, right? We use for some very good purpose. Let me tell you this thing. Good purpose in the sense we use for this thing also. I told long back this guy. Static data. Can you guys give me example for the static data? Example.
HTML, PHP,
PHP is not static. PHP is dynamic.
CSS.
oh sorry, yeah.
jQuery.
JavaScript,
That's it. Huh? How about these guys? Documents, pictures, all this like the back majority, right? The documents, videos, all these are also called static data. This is static programming language. These are the I'm telling not the programming language. I was telling about the data, static data. All these considered as a static data you can consider this. Now, yeah, whichever you said is correct. This is the language. These are the guys called content, static data or content. Okay. Now, to run this, you have to tell me. You know already.
We used Apache server.
Apache.
Where did you run Apache? On top of which component?
EC2.
In
EC2.
In EC2. And EC2 is there, Apache is there. To EC2 again, what components is there? Security group is
Regular VPC.
VPC, all these components are coming, right? Again, you have a OS here. So what AWS has given you this one good solution in S3. If you have static content, static programming language like this, don't go for this solution. With this, what will happen is you think it. I went with the which solution M5 2x large. Let's say that you went with this bigger solution, and obviously you need a load balancer also. This thing. So if you have one EC2 mission, is it high availability solution or failure solution? If you have one EC2 mission in one zone, you created this.
Failure
Failure
solution.
Right?
Failure.
To make high availability, how many EC2 missions you need minimum?
Minimum 2.
Minimum 2, right? Now what I'll do, let's do this, okay? For just we do in the real time, please. This thing we do lot of time. This one I could have shown you as well. This we do lot of times. So before any project starts, right, we get the requirement in Excel and then we do calculate like this. Mumbai, I want to do cost saving, for example. Instance. Cloud. EC2. Let's put simple EC2. Select EC2. Shared instance only we use. You know, right? Cost savings, on demand, spot, and all right. Let's go with on demand for now. There is no lock. I want to go with instance family type. Let's go with M5 2x large. I was telling you M5 2x large. M5 2x large will be 8 CPU. 2x large 8 CPU, 16 GB RAM. I think here. So you see, right? Yeah, 8 GB is 32 GB RAM here. This is the mission I wanted to go, and then I want to not with the savings plan, not EC2 savings plan. Let's go with on-demand one. Let's remove that. On-demand 100% monthly. And then I'll have EBS volume also. Let's go with the EBS volume 50 GB for each. And then that's okay. Not much throughput and all for now. So 50 GB storage, I'm going with this. Elastic AP, that's okay. We have load balancer. Data transfer, that's okay. Let's keep it 100 GB. Don't consider for now. Just basic cost, we'll see how much it came. $294. Huh? If I do next large, I use one more website also. 140, $270. How many EC2 missions I selected? I remember this mission cost, I know $280 by default. That's it. I think I selected one only somewhere. Then I need to mention 2. I know this cost $280, 270 something around it will come based upon the region. Somewhere can you mention the number of instances? Instance family number. Yeah, this is the that's why. Now let's go. Yeah, $580 per month. This is the cost of my simple which is it mission running to Apache environment. So to Apache environment. So per month I'm paying for this month around like $580 per month I'm paying. If you go S3, right, damn sure it will be like less than. Let's go do that as well. Let's remove this thing, cancel it. Let's go with S3. Configure. Go with the standard solution. This is, and then the specified amount. They'll charge for like out only, very less number of requests. Number of requests means per month how many requests will come. Let's say that I'll be storing like not GB also. We don't show GB. The Apache website it will be less than, let's say, like less than some MBs only. Standard 1 GB per month. Put this is the request. How many requests are coming? How many get requests are coming? Say that let's say 1 lakh 10 million can. Let's keep it. Data returned by let's say 1 GB. Data transfer also, let's go with this. Yeah. So in data transfer, that's okay. It will be very less only. You can think it. It's simple website, right? It will be like not GB. So maybe don't care. Let's leave this data for now. Data transfer feature. Yeah. See here. So my objective was simple. I want to give a website for you, the static website. Do you go now? How much it is charging? Like you see, right? This is my objective. What is the objective was? Run static website. One guy came to you with this. You are the cloud admin. Now, before before S3, before this concept, right? We have in mind only this guy. Now, what is the set? This is, we keep it here. Okay. Now, which one do you suggest? Is it easy to cast? You go for S3. Let's keep it additionally, like $50. Obviously, blindly, right? You can go with which guy right now? S3. Any queries, questions you want to ask on it? If someone comes to you, so always ask when someone comes to you, right? Majority times you have to ask this question: which language? I told long back only. If it is static language, jQuery, or like anything like the static related content, always prefer S3. With this, right? Can you guys see here in this image which content it is serving? Here, where was that man? Somewhere, yeah. Which content it will be serving here? Static content, static related, whatever your videos, documents will go here. It will come from here. Why I'm having here? This guy is, here, this guy. Which layer this guy?
RDS.
RDS is the dynamic, right? So if I'm accessing any dynamic content, I'll go to from EC2, I'll get it here. If it is static content, I'll go to blindly to which service right now? S3. So you can use S3 for what purpose I was telling, to run a static website. You don't care about the Apache, no need OS, no need EBS volume. Just go on then here to S3. Let's go here to S3. Somewhere you'll have a properties, I think. Yeah. Here, go little down, down somewhere. You have to enable one property, this property. Edit, enable, host a static website. Somewhere you could have seen this content, this file. You saw right somewhere this file.
Index.html Apache
Apache default will look for this keyword, right?
by default.
Like this also I say that pick the index.html. If it is home.html, login.html, I'll mention this name. Go to the S3. I'm making static website instead of EC2 in S3 and then enabling a property, static website hosting. Just enable this keyword, that's it. Enable it, save changes. Now upload the content. Download, check on it. Just download any content, don't care about this thing. So earlier we used to download on the EC2 via www blah blah something, right? It doesn't right now. We are downloading in where? In my local. From my local, I'll upload this content to S3. This is the content. Let me get that file. Where was this one? Where it downloaded? Which folder? Downloads. Copy this guy. This. Go here. Let's keep it here. Let's create a folder. New. S3 static. Paste here. Zip content. We need to extract it. Any queries you want to ask? Any doubts on it? This hosting, clicking on the other options are easy. Any like content wise, any like topic wise, any doubts on it for related S3? Any queries? Go here, demo. Please let me drag and drop. I remember some issue for folders thing. Deploy static. Select all these files. Drag and drop. If you are uploading individual, again, I need to do folder files and all. Instead of that, I did a drag and drop everything. Let's see. Upload. Now you are uploading the content from your laptop to AWS. S3 is a kind of regional. And it is, you can access from global anywhere. So why I'm using S3 in my case right now? One is for storage purpose. What is the other purpose I'm using? Static website hosting. This also you can use it. So wait for, yeah, let's upload it. Yeah, close. Now you got the structure here. When you upload this thing, right, by default, go to the properties here. Something got changed recently. Yeah. You see here, this is the name I will use it. This is the name. This name I can register somewhere. Na? You know already this, right?
Row 53.
Yeah, exactly. To enable static website. We get endpoint. Please observe the endpoint. This is, this is one of the exam question I have seen it. This is your bucket name. Something. And then this is the some kind of property. This is the region. And this is the AWS domain name. Their host.zone name. Okay. This is your bucket name will be there. This is the properties in which where the region bucket exists. The end is this. Now I can access with this endpoint only. Now this is the bigger name, right? I can in the DNS we can register no one thing name DNS or what is this guy? Not 53. We can register, right, with one thing. This bigger name I can register with one name, no?
Domain name.
Alias name.
You know some kind of record types, right? With the name to name.
Yeah.
C name.
type.
What is that?
CNAME, sir. Alias.
Yeah, alias name. You can go with this name to name. I'll make one simple my own website domain name. Instead of bigger domain name, I'll access with this name. Okay. So I'll pass it for today. We'll meet on weekend. We don't have this weekend. We'll meet on this thing next Monday. Sorry, I have a doctor appointment, so we'll cancel it. I mean, I'll
Okay.
pass it to people. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Sir, please upload videos.
Yeah. Sorry, I was not keeping well. I'll upload it. Sure. Thank you.
Thank you.